So your boy is rapidly advancing to the extent that it matters at all on 1 million Twitter followers, having added about 20,000 followers in the last 48 hours. Now, I know a lot of you left Twitter because you were angry over Donald Trump being banned, over Alex Berenson being banned, on the shadow bans, on the Babylon Bee being locked. I can already see a substantial difference in the way Twitter is being run, even though Elon Musk is not managing things right now. People say, what do you mean? What do you think's going on? The only time when I have added more Twitter followers this rapidly in like the last 6 or 7 years was when I went on CNN and said I believed in only two things completely, the First Amendment and boobs. All right? Other than that, I've never seen anything like this rapid acceleration in followers. What do you think's going on? My theory is that Twitter, the engineers at Twitter, are aware that Elon Musk is going to bring in his own super smart, genius data analysts and engineers, and that they will look at what is going on with Twitter, and they would have seen that the rig game was in effect. In other words, that left-wing people were receiving a serious bump, and that if you were right-wing or conservative or libertarian, you were not receiving the same ability of support. So I think what they're trying to do is rapidly cover their tracks and look like they've been playing it straight down the middle, when the reality is there are a lot of political hacks inside of Twitter, and those political hacks have been overwhelmingly favoring left-wing political opinion that coincides with their own. And one of the biggest questions that's been out there has been, we talked about this yesterday when we had Miranda Devine, who helped write the New York Post articles on Hunter Biden. We had this discussion with her, and we said, hey, what do you think Elon Musk would have thought about Twitter locking the New York Post account and not allowing your story about Hunter Biden to be shared widely? And she said, based on precedent, I think Elon Musk would be opposed to it. Well, he actually spoke out. Elon Musk said, and I'm reading directly from his Twitter feed, suspending the Twitter account of a major news organization for publishing a truthful story was obviously incredibly inappropriate. Again, obviously incredibly inappropriate. That story that is out there is a significant part of what's going on here. Elon Musk, credit to him. By the way, this has gotten over 370,000 likes, and he was responding to a story about the fact that this Twitter top lawyer had cried during a meeting about Elon Musk's takeover. So he said it was incredibly inappropriate. I agree with him. It was incredibly inappropriate for Twitter to have locked the New York Post Twitter account and not allowed their story to be shared. And so this is pretty significant. Now, these executives are upset about this situation and that they're being criticized. And in fact, they are saying, and I'm reading here, that Elon Musk is a misogynist, and that the reason why this occurred is because of his misogyny. Color me shocked all caps, that people are coming for two of our prominent female executives on day one of this thing. This is Laura Cohen, Twitter global head of partners, going off against Elon Musk, trying to defend this attorney, Vijaya Gadde, and the chief marketing officer, Leslie Berland. Gadde was reportedly brought to tears over Musk's purchase of Twitter. So these two Democrat Party activists inside of Twitter, who have been rigging the game against regular marketplace of ideas debates, are clearly in the wrong. They 100 billion% blew it when they locked the New York Post Twitter account and when they refused to allow this story to be shared. It's since been proven 100% to be true, okay? So what do? What is the left-wing playbook anytime anyone is criticized, go with sexism, go with racism, go with homophobia, go with transphobia. And so this is beyond the pale what we should expect to see Elon Musk have to deal with. Similarly, on MSNBC, one of the dumbest people on television, I say the dumbest person on television, probably Joy Behar. Joy Behar on The View, which is the dumbest show on television, is paid millions of dollars, despite the fact that she is an absolute imbecile. She used to be a comedian. She's not remotely funny. She's just really dumb. She's the dumbest person, I think, on my Mount Rushmore of stupidity. Joy Reid is also right up there. She said that Elon Musk is in favor of returning Twitter to apartheid-era South Africa where he grew up. Because, of course, Elon Musk is to blame for the decisions that were made by the country in which he grew up. And he is actually an African-American, legitimately an African-American. And by the way, Sonny Hostin, who is also on The View, said that Elon Musk was going to run Twitter for white heterosexual men. The only group in America today that you can criticize by labeling them by their gender and their race and their sexuality is white heterosexual men. We're the worst people who have ever existed in the history of mankind. How dare all of us white heterosexual men be in favor of the First Amendment? Boy, are we the worst. You know what those white this is according to The View, by the way. You know what those white heterosexual men are in favor of? Everybody being able to say exactly what they think. How dare they? Think about how crazy of a world we're living in right now, where it's considered to be an insult when you call someone a white heterosexual man for supporting the First Amendment. How dare Elon Musk, that awful white heterosexual man, be in favor of everybody, regardless of their race, regardless of their gender, regardless of their ethnicity, regardless of their sexuality, being able to say exactly what they think. That's modern day tyranny. That is authoritarianism run amok. We can't have a democracy, according to the idiots on The View and MSNBC, unless white heterosexual men are stifled and not allowed to run rampant with their crazy ideas of allowing people to say whatever they think. Think about where we are as a society right now. All of this panic over Elon Musk buying Twitter is about letting people say exactly what they believe. The left wing has rigged things for so long that they are terrified of just one platform, just one, where everybody is able to go on and say exactly what they think on a variety of issues under the sun.